This CRN video is brought to you through the support of Guinness Draught, official beer of Rugby Canada. As Scotland A gets ready for the challenge of taking on the England Saxons in the first round of the Barclays Churchill Cup, the approach taken by the team has been one of getting back to the basics. This team has been together a little over a week, and according to coach Steve Bates, they will be looking to challenge the Saxons in all areas.
To try and play quickly and with lots of organisation to combat that sort of that firepower. I suppose part of the problem we have is that we just don't have the time to establish that level of organisation. So I think we know it's going to be a really tough game, but we're looking forward to it. And there are recent history shows that the form book can be turned on its head. As was shown at Murrayfield earlier in the year.
Graham Morrison is an outside centre who plays for the Glasgow Warriors. He says Scotland will be worrying about doing their own tasks correctly, and not so much about what the Saxons might bring on the day.
Well, I think given that we've had so little time to prepare, due to the fact we've been involved with our professional teams, we really need to sort of focus on what we've got to do. Again, they're in the same situation, they've even had less time, so I think that if we get our game right, then that's all that really matters. If we take it to them, then they'll probably be able to handle it.
Rory Lawson, captain for Scotland, says the team that adapts better to the conditions on the day should prevail.
Yeah, I mean, obviously both teams are in a similar situation, so I think in many cases it'll be a matter of who manages to adapt better to that kind of situation, who basically just goes out there and plays the rugby and uses the talent that's in each squad to perform best.
The Scottish team doctor is Dr. James Robson, who was part of the Lions tour in 2005. He says managing the players in the recent heat wave has been a challenge, but they will be prepared for whatever the day will bring.
It's basically going to take something like 2 litres in the hour of training. Now that's impossible at game time, so really what we're going to do, arrive at game time fully hydrated, make sure the pile of fluid's on for the first 48 hours before we rise on game day, and then use every opportunity, every break to try and deliver water to them. When they're training and they're taking fluids on, of course they get used to it, but it's actually in game time delivering enough to keep the performance up that perturbs me a bit.
England meets Scotland at York Stadium in Toronto, 2:45 kickoff. Tickets at ticketmaster.ca or at the gate. For the Barclays Churchill Cup, Doug Cross reporting in Toronto.